Hello, Eugene. You're up next.
Hello, Bart. How are you?
How you doing, Eugene? Are you a first-time caller or have we heard from you before?
Yes,
Oh, you are. Okay.
first time caller. Yes,
Where
long time listener, first time caller.
are you the one that's calling from the country Georgia? Is that right?
Yes. I'm calling from Georgia, which is a country, not a state. Yes,
Isn't that the country that Russia sort of went on a mini war with like about 5, 10 years
yes,
ago? Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yes,
What's the capital of that country? It begins with a T, doesn't it? Tlipsi or something like that?
yes. It's Tbilisi.
Oh, well, I butchered that. All right, so it's 11:30 over there and
Yes,
you have casinos there.
of course we have a lot of casinos. I guess I live in Tbilisi. There are like five major casinos where they have poker.
Okay.
So pretty good, especially during the summer season, where a lot of tourists from Israel, from Middle East come into play here because it's really close
Okay.
and it's quick travel for them. So basically, on them, the whole poker economy lives on, I can say.
And what's the size of the game that you're playing in?
So we are in a casino named Ajara.
Uh-huh.
And the size of the game is 5-5. The game is in American dollars,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's uncapped.
And how deep are you? So 5-5 uncapped. Okay. How deep are you?
Yeah, I am effective stack with $1,500.
$1,500 effective. By the way, I just have to mention, and I had to look it up because my memory was defeating me, but I used to live in West Hollywood, so there's a big Russian sort of, former Russian influence. If anybody ever gets a chance to try, and I might be butchering this name, is it Khachapuri? Khachapuri?
Khachapuri.
Yeah, Khachapuri, which is like it's a pizza without tomato sauce and an egg. So and I think it's got like kind of ricotta cheese. It's like one of the best food. I don't know if it's Georgian or Armenian or somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's Georgian. It's actually Georgian national dish, and the cheese called suluguni, not ricotta. It's some kind of fake khachapuri with
Oh.
ricotta inside. Yeah,
But
it's supposed to be authentic suluguni cheese.
it is one of the best things that if for like a, greasy food. There was a place. It was one of the best things I've had. All right, so 5-5, 1,500 effective. Okay, 5-5 uncapped. Okay, start us off here.
Yeah, so this hand is a linked pot. I know how much you love it, so hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
So folds around to William, who is in hijack, and
Okay.
he limps.
Okay.
Then folds to small blind, a very passive recreational player. He's sitting with 300 in his stack, and he checks.
Okay.
Hero in the big blind with 4 of clubs, 5 of clubs, and I check. So the pot is $15.
So
And before we move on, I want to give you like quick note on the hijack, the main villain. So he's a recreational player, and I've played a lot with him, and I've seen him lead all sorts of hands like Queen Jack offsuit, King Jack offsuit, Jack 6 suited, small pairs. And from my observation, I'd say there's maybe like 5% chance he folds if I raise. Even if I raise, I don't know, to 50, 60, he's there to call.
this is the guy that's in the hijack. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So this is why you didn't say consider raising, because I said I would consider raising. I don't know. Usually, like these games in Europe are tougher than American games. You wouldn't see a whole lot of open limping, but it sounds to me like this guy. So if you've got a guy that's always going to call, then you want to obviously make the exploit of like value raising a little bit more. I mean, I suppose you could make a case that you just want to raise, get the small blind out of there and get it heads up, and then you could barrel the guy off. But okay, so you check and the pot's $15. Okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
The flop, 2 of clubs, 3 of clubs, 7 of hearts.
All right, so you flop an open-ended straight flush draw, 7 of hearts, 3 of clubs, deuce of clubs. You've got 4 or 5 of clubs. Okay.
Yeah. Small blind checks, hero checks, and hijack bets 15.
So small blind checks, hero checks, hijack bets 15. Before you move on here, we'll talk about, yes, I do love myself limped pots. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you could play this, and I think it actually has to do with position, like configuration. So, I think you'd want to take the line that adds the most amount of fold equity here. So I would be more likely to try to go for a check raise and attack this limp pot if I was first to act, where there would be more of a chance that somebody will bet to my left. You also don't have any pairs, so there's slightly more of a chance that maybe somebody connected with this. Here, you're in the middle, so I might just start betting because there's no guarantee that the hijack's going to bet anyways. So it's a combination. Obviously, it's a semi bluff, but you're also building a pot up here to the nuts. I assume that you're probably trying to set up a check raise. I guess my point is just you don't always know if the bet's going to come when there's only one guy to your left.
Yeah, so my plan was exactly to check raise because my observation on this villain also that he loves to bet, he loves to step, he loves to, when he's in hand, he likes to play.
Yeah, so hijack bets 15. What does the small blind do?
Small blind falls.
Okay, so small blind folds. Okay.
Hero check raises to 70.
Now, the only thing I will say here is that the way that you kind of set this up pre-flop is that this guy, obviously he wants to play in plots. He doesn't like to fold. However, I will say, and this is why I'm such a big fan of sometimes attacking limped pots, and it's the same concept when I talk about attacking the field better when the pre-flop raiser checks and someone in the field bets. He doesn't have to have top pair here to bet. Like he could have ace 3 and then fold to a check raise. He could have pocket 4s. Also, even if he has a 7, the board is just going to get worse and worse for him off of a single pair. And you've got like a mountain of equity here with 4, 5 of clubs. I guess my point is that you don't even have to have a hand this big to make this play. Like if you had a hand like, say, 6, 8 of hearts, which is like a wraparound backdoor, 8, 9 of hearts. You might actually even prefer 8, 9 of hearts just because it's overcards to 7x if someone continues. So, I mean, obviously I love the play. I'm just saying that you do have a lot of fold equity here, I think, in a limp pot. All right, so you check raise to 70.
Yeah, and I also want to mention that this villain probably would bet with 10-9, king jacks, just with 2 overcards. I think he will definitely bet like with for such a small size.
And he won't call though, right? Because it's nothing if you check raise.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So here check raise to 70. Okay.
I check raise to 70 and hijack 3 bets to 235.
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
Because this is always interesting when you get into a situation like this where what are the, first of all, a guy like this, there is almost no chance that there's any fold equity after he 3-bets a check raise. Well, let's get that number one, okay? He's not folding. The question then becomes, and you always get into situations like this. Although this is a little bit easier though because it's heads up. You can get into real trouble multi-way. Is that when you take a look at this, like say 3-bet range, if it's really thick value like a set or 2-pair plus, although he shouldn't really have 2-pair plus here, or it's some sort of combo draw, the problem here is that if it's a combo draw, well, it can't really be a combo draw because you're blocking all the straightening types of cards, but you also have the worst flush draw. You have the worst possible flush draw. Yes, you have an open-ended straight flush draw, but if you had a hand like, say, like ace 7 of clubs, or I guess 6, 7 of clubs is a combo draw, right? That's a flush draw and a gut shot here to the 4 of clubs that you have. If we consider those combo draws, those hands have you dominated actually, and pretty well. You still have equity because you're open-ended though, but it is like you want him to have a set here as opposed to have a dominating flush draw. I guess my point is that there's just I don't think people can say like coming from PLO background or Hold'em, they're like, well, you can only be like 40% at worst against a set here. Why don't you just pile it in? Yeah, 40% against made hands, but if he has a higher draw though, you're doing worse than 40%. And again, I just can't imagine a guy 3-betting a check raise here and ever folding. Like, I'm trying to think of like a weird hand where like he might show up with something like if he had limped in here with like aces or something, or kings or something like that, going for a limp re-raise where you actually have like a boatload of equity. I still don't think he's folding though, anyways, any of those hands. So I can't really see how you don't just have one square decision, which is call. And then it's going to be interesting to see if you make a flush that's not a straight flush, how you want to proceed.
Yeah, so I was surprised by his action. I tanked for a while and also decided to call for exactly those reasons, that there is like zero fold equity if I jam. Because like if he three bets, he obviously has something. I think the worst hand is probably two pair like deuce three. It's like probably the worst hand that he has right now.
And by the way, I think I said 5-6 of clubs. What did it? No, 6-7 of clubs. 6-7 of clubs is a possible.
Yeah, maybe, but
Yeah.
because I block ace four, I block ace
Right.
five, so
Right. All right. So do you call?
yeah, I call.
All right. So hero calls. You guys put in 235 each, so it's four. So it's like 485.
500.
Okay, 500 ish. Okay, somewhere around 500. Okay.
So turn is a magic. It's six of clubs.
Wow. So the turn is the 6 of clubs, and now I remember too why I picked this one. So before you tell me what you're gonna do, and a lot of people might look at this and they're like, well, because hell, it's a straight flush, right? But you get into situations. I see people misplay really, really big hands all the time. Actually, our buddy, I'll put a link. One of the very first, right during COVID, I think it was right before COVID. Like I had a big video that came out in early 2020 about live tells that kind of took off. It was like one of our first biggest videos. And then right after that video, our buddy Mark Goon from Hungry Horse, he called in about a hand where he flopped a straight flush. And we dissected this hand where he didn't get enough value by flopping a straight flush. But I see people, they don't necessarily, they kind of go through this haze when they make the nuts. And they don't necessarily like put it all together. The way that I would look at this one is, okay, what's his bet three betting range on the flop? It sets two pairs and like say bigger draws. The issue here is that the sets and the two pair types of holdings, or let's just say sets, like they're going to be really scared of this card. And if you check to them, they're going to check it back. And it doesn't matter if the guy's got a flush. Anyways, the money's getting in. So I actually don't mind I think I would lead out here a lot because your hand looks like so much what it is anyways. I don't want the guy to check through. I guess a counter to that could be, well, I can check here, let the guy check back, let the board pair. He's going to make a boat, but he's going to call the turn anyways. It's just I see guys will go check, and then like they don't make up for like the lost value that they get on the river. They don't bet like 3x and they don't get the call. So I got to tell you, I think I do a lot of leading here from out of position. Everyone in the chat is check, check turn.
No. So I hit, but it's obviously a great card for me. But on the other hand, it's like very bad card for my villain because flush came in, straight came in, whatever. Like my calling range probably is quite phase up to him as well. So I decided to lead, and I tried.
Oh, you did lead.
Yeah,
Okay.
I decided to lead, and I tried to calculate, like the highest number. So he feels like he gets the odds to catch his full house if he has a
set or two. Yeah, I mean it doesn't really look like there's any two pair. Yeah.
Yeah. So I bet 430.
Okay, so you didn't. I mean that's not a small lead. Hero bets 430. I mean, again, for the people in the chat, people are like, well, if he bets and if you bet and he folds, what is he? I mean, you're not going to get a whole. It doesn't. First of all, it doesn't look logically like there's a whole bunch of two pair out here. Anyways, the board's 7 deuce 3. Really, logically, what you're looking at is sets, and you're looking at like every other flush draw is higher, anyways. So I don't mind the sizing here, at all. Like, what are you trying to get the guy to catch up to, anyways? If it's just he's never folding a set. This is the type of guy, you know what I mean? So I don't Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me to check. It doesn't really make sense really for me to like lead all that small either, to be honest with you. Hero bet's 430. Okay.
What do you think about the sizing? Maybe I should have slightly bigger, or this is like okay size?
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, against the guy that you are describing, I don't mind it. I might have reflexively gone a little bit a little bit smaller, like 300 to 350, but okay.
Okay. So yeah, I lead 430 and hijack calls. So the total pot is 1,360, something in that neighborhood.
860, 1360, right?
Yes, 1360. Yeah. And I was already imagining how I will jam the river. But then very unfortunate card comes. It's Queen of Clubs.
Wow, that sucks. And the reason why that sucks is, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like if he's got the nut flush here, which is the ace high flush, he had it anyways on the turn. It's not going to really matter. But it just kind of sucks if he has a hand like, say, like 7-8 of clubs, right? Like that was the combo draw, which just basically means that his hand has turned into like a very low flush on a 4 flush board. I think in these spots where right off the top, I think a pretty small bet is the most efficient play here. You want to bet an amount where you can get crying calls from non-nut flushes and the nut flush happily raises you. You know, like if he's got like ace 9 of clubs or something like that. And if you can bet like say 300 to 400 and still get like a crying call from 7-8 of clubs, still get a crying call from like sets. And maybe 300 is the sizing here. It's just because you don't, again, like you're super excited. I like your lead on the turn, but now the logical play here is to try, you have a hand that's going to naturally raise that you beat anyways. It's one hand, right, on this board. But now he also has other hands that doesn't want to really call like super large bets. So, because of the 4 flush run out. So I think 300 to 400 here. The pot's 1316, you've got like 900 left. Yeah, 300 to 400 is what I would think. I think that upfront moving all in is a mistake. I don't know what you did, but a lot of people might get like super excited and make that like if the river was an offsuit queen and you guys have like 800-900 left, we can make, you could make the argument that it's just an all in if he's going to call with a set anyways. But here on a 4 flush run out, you can't do that.
Yeah. So I started to tanking probably for like, I don't know, like a minute, like trying to at least make seems that this card is not like the best card for me as well. And eventually I bet 200.
200?
Yeah, 200.
Okay. I mean, again, I think maybe it's again, you're trying to get 200. I mean, see, I don't know how much King X of clubs he has here, and it still might call. Again, 200 just might be a little bit small in the sense of if you're still going to get called by the hands that I just talked about for like 300 to 350, I like that size more because you're always going to get raised by the ace of clubs. So hero bets 200. Okay.
And hijack tanks. Then he start to doing his speech like, oh, I guess it's like the pod odds is good for me. I have to call. I cannot fold this. And eventually he calls, and he right away turns over his hand without even like seeing my hand. He shows a set of deuces.
Okay. So hijack has deuce. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, look at the way that you played it. Actually, it was pretty well. You got maximum value on the turn. And by the way, if you checked we don't need to. I mean, I'm not trying to be super results oriented here, but if you checked the turn here, Eugene, you would have gotten no money. You might not have even gotten a call on the river. By the way, I just probably would have gone slightly larger. But I think I'm on board with everything that you did here. Some people saying that your turn bet's a little bit large, but the one thing that I pick out here is that the two things that I like, the fact that you sort of identified that it makes no sense, I don't think, to bet 4 bet the flop. And then here on the river, a big mistake would be actually to bet too large. So I think I'm good with it.
Maybe I lost like $50, $100. Maybe like he would pay 300 as well.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking about. But Eugene, thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it.